Welcome to Leadership in 320. We're back with another episode.
We're back.
I'm Brennan.
Mitchell.
I'm Brennan.
I'm Mitchell.
Get off of me, boy.
I was trying to hop on in front of you, take the lead.
In the fast lane. Life in the fast lane. Don't know that song?
I do.
Oh. When's the last time you listened to it? Should give it a call.
Right
give
now.
It a ring.
Right now.
Looks like you could be moving a little faster or doing something.
Who sings it?
Ooh. An 80s band.
Oh.
Why, do you know?
No. I couldn't tell you any more words in that song other than Life in the Fast Lane.
I think it's like a bigger band. I just can't think.
Like a bunch of, like...
I'm going to come up with it before we're done here.
No.
I think I'm going to be thinking. So if it looks like I'm looking off in the distance like this, I'm trying to reel it in. Might find it. This episode, we're talking a little bit about taking care of numero uno. That's number one. So you can take care of everybody else. Which, I think some folks might, on the surface level anyways, think that, that sounds a little selfish.
I think some folks maybe go a little too deep.
I think that it's, that's a selfish act to be thinking about yourself. But, when you think of leadership capacity and being able to go not just fast, but to go far and, make an impact, not just over a short amount of time, but a longer period of time, you got to enact some strategies and some habits that ensure that you're in a good enough spot to keep others afloat too. Because if you're not in a good spot,
got to fuel up. And I'm not just talking about the Skittles like we were last week.
Skittles, I like candy.
I'm
gonna start liking it less, but I still like candy.
Yeah, you gotta take care of yourself.
This is we're not gonna get off track immediately. We are, but we're gonna get right back on it. Was attending a conference in the city several years ago. And it was solo. And on my way there, I was feeling a little bad for myself. So what I used to do, like if you had to go down there, if you had to be there early in the morning, like 7:30 or 8 in the Twin Cities, I'd go down. But I would go down like late, like after putting the kids to bed. Mm-hmm. So you didn't have to essentially deal with rush hour traffic. Yeah. So you wouldn't get to the hotel until, 10:30, 11 o'clock. But you could sleep in a little bit and
not have to... much better start to the morning.
Yeah, but anyways, so at about I'd say 9:30 on the way down there, I treated myself to a very large Mountain Dew, which was kind of
2 liter
to keep it awake. Well, I mean, probably could have fit a 2 liter in that fountain pop cup. Close to it. I don't know how many ounces.
Did you even sleep them when you got there?
Well, it was that, and I gave myself also a dose of my of course, I was looking through the candy aisle, and I don't know if I've ever told you this.
Some little trolley gummies or something?
No, that was usually the thing.
Is it trolley or trolley? Maybe
I don't know.
I think it's trolley, but I'm not sure.
Jeez,
putting you to sleep.
But I got a bag, which it didn't look like there was a lot of them in there. But I'm like, yeah, this is what I need right now. And it was Bit-O Honeys. When's the last time you had a Bit-O Honey? You know what I'm saying? In the red.
Oh no, I know what you mean.
Red wrapper, yellow and blue.
I think I had one. By my age, I probably choked one of those down at Halloween earlier this year or last year.
I haven't seen them in a while. They're very. I like them. I haven't had them
You got to be hard up for candy if you go after a bit of honey.
I had the whole store to my. I could have got whatever I wanted, but I chose those in that time. Anyways, I had the whole bag. And something
so what
about
are we talking? Are we talking like the clear little, like the bag that's like yay big?
Well, like the old school.
Are we talking like the running
like
bag?
The gas station bag? Yeah. So it's not like it wasn't like Bit-O Honey brand bag. It was like whatever gas station, like Casey's, sells the candy. Or whatever. Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
So exactly right.
So it wasn't like
a square pouch. Well, there were plenty of them in there. There had been 15, 18, 20 of them in there. And it makes you feel worse when you're eating something when there's wrappers. So it's like, there's evidence of it and it reminds you.
Keeping a pitch count on you.
When you got a giant pile on the floorboard, that's like getting some depth full of candy wrappers that you just destroyed. And let me tell you, I don't know what hurt worse, my teeth, like the surface of my teeth or my jaw from cranking on those things.
Probably need like an ice scraper to clean your teeth off afterwards.
Oh, it wasn't good.
All the sugar on there.
Mountain Dew wasn't a good thing. Anyways. was feeling bad for myself. So that's what I was doing. So there's an example of not taking care of yourself. I was treating yourself, but sometimes what's the line of treating yourself? And I think you just ate that same thing like 3 days ago. Then is it treating yourself, or is that just
What did I have?
just in general? No, I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, we were sitting.
I'm treating
you have
myself.
to.
No, but I'm saying what's the line between treating yourself and I think I just saw you eating that like 2 days ago.
We're going into cardiac arrest.
I like to say that it's the treating yourself, or actually I think you do that all the time. I think that goes in the treat yourself category. That goes in the.
That's actually called a pattern.
There's a strong correlation here.
It's called Tuesday through Thursday.
Not a good thing, but
Got bit o' honey, you got yourself in a bit o' trouble is what you did.
Oh. No, so in everything in moderation. But we talk about this a lot. There's the serious fact. Of course, if you're an athlete or anything, but if you're in any form of position, you have a job where there's a certain amount of stress associated with
Which, in all honesty, is I don't care who you are, where you're working. I don't believe there is one completely stress-free job.
No.
Anywhere. There's something.
No, this is probably general advice, but certainly if you're in a position where there's some stress, in a leadership position where there's some stress associated with the position, whatever it may be, and even more so, for general health, certainly not, but for someone in a leadership position, because the whole deal is, when we talk servant leadership, if you're not in a spot, if you're not in a good spot whatsoever, how are you gonna help others along the track? Like I said, it can work for a period of time, but your impact, maybe not the depth, but again the length, the amount of time you're gonna be impactful over time is probably gonna be shortened.
When I wonder this now, I'm just thinking about this now, and you tell me if this is a little bit true or not even true at all. So I just think, I try to be ahead of things, especially in the winter. Your gas tank, right? You're cruising down to work or on the highway there, going on a little mini trip, and you got that tank is right on F. You're feeling good. You see that tank is, a quarter tank. It's like, not a huge deal, but, hey, probably better fuel up here pretty quick. When that thing is riding E, that is not like a good time. That is, like, to me, that's causing excess stress that was very easily avoidable at the last gas station where you're like, we'll deal with that later. So what I'm wondering is like, even subconsciously in a position like that, if you're not taking care of yourself, if your tank is going down from full to halfway to quarter, down to, you're right in that E line there, that's even that second line, like the danger zone, like, is that causing you like excess stress, even like knowing like, hey, I haven't slept good the last couple nights, I haven't really been eating good, haven't worked out in the last 5, 6, 7 days, and like just knowing like just the extra stress that just of not taking care of yourself and making sure you're not putting yourself first even, but at least putting yourself on the map, is that doing even more damage by just knowing, like, you can sense that you're on thin ice.
Could be. That's very insightful, Charlie.
Every now and then I was due. It's been about 5 weeks since I've added anything of any substance.
It sounds like a vicious and violent cycle to be on.
It is, and I just, think how long it is to get you from empty back to full. It's a lot quicker to go from halfway point to fill up. So, my goodness, did you take like NyQuil like before we started this, or what's going on?
I've taken NyQuil one time. I don't know if I told you this. We haven't visited much. A couple of weeks ago, I was not feeling well at all, and there was some illness going around the place of work and everywhere else. So I was, and of course, one of my children had joined us in our bed. So every time I coughed, which was rather frequently, I got a little heel in between my shoulder blades.
Was that because you woke them half up, or they were trying to get you to be quiet?
I think it evolved into that at the end. So, imagine already not feeling well at all, and then coughing, and then, as you're already trying to fill your lungs back up with the breath,
get it cut off mid cough.
kick, giving a samurai kick. So you're leaving the air. So I wandered to the old cupboard in the bathroom, which I honestly, I'm aware of NyQuil. I know some people
I've never took it.
misused or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm afraid I wouldn't wake up for like five days.
Well, it was like the brand, I just thought there was stuff. But this was NyQuil.
Well, you got the legit.
It was
Go
nighttime.
straight to the source.
Nighttime NyQuil. And this was like 3:30 in the morning, which I kind of knew it was a mistake maybe, but, I needed to solve to that problem.
It sounds like you're about an hour and a half away from needing Dayquil.
Yeah, I needed to solve. So I took a swig and fixed the problem. And I had no more problem sleeping. I don't know if I was still coughing, but I was not any longer aware.
Not conscious.
How I felt that next day at work was...
You had to work the next day?
Yeah, this was like on a Tuesday.
I thought this was like a Saturday, like a Friday night going into Saturday.
It was...
I thought you were going to tell me you woke up at like 1 in the afternoon.
About the most miserable I felt. I had the pleasure of eating lunch with a couple of kids that day, and I thought, like I was trying, kids can, like we said, kids can read it and everything, kids are,
they're very
stealing
your word that you said, they are insightful.
Yeah, they are, much, much smarter than the grand public gives them credit for. So I'm sitting there thinking I'm pretty engaged in conversation, but apparently I was giving big old lion yawns. And finally, one of these kids like, Mr. Kent, I think you need to take a nap when you get home. Which just made me feel so
called
dumb.
out by a second grader that you got to take a nap.
Made me feel so dumb. It's like, okay, snap out of it here. I'm apparently not making this lunch very fun for these kids. So, no, but bottom line, never do that again. And the only other thing that it reminded me of...
You're supposed to take that at you feel like crap, take that at 7:30 at night?
Never.
On a
I
Friday
don't care how
night.
I feel. I will never be ingesting that ever again.
Of course, I can't say anything because I've never actually taken it myself.
No, I wouldn't recommend it.
I think I took Dayquil once or twice or something similar to it, but not. I don't like the sleep
It didn't feel good
medication
at all. Won't ever do it again. The thing, it reminded me again one time user for where you, me, and Dad and another unnamed individual wandered up to the big city of Nelson, Minnesota, I believe it was, at a softball tournament. Is that where it was?
Well, I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to think of
with the big net.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Was that Nelson?
I can't remember.
Yeah, then right field.
One of those early softball tournaments that we should have never had any business being.
I'm trying to think now. I thought I knew what you were going to say, but now I don't.
No, so it was you, me, and Dad, and then another gentleman that we played with, and in between games, we had played the first one, and it was like, springtime, whatever else. And I felt miserable, and I don't know if it was your idea, not blaming you, or whatever it came to. It's like, well, I must be having some allergies or whatever. So I took a Benadryl, and it was a regular Benadryl, not a non-drowsy one. And that was a similar. I remember sleeping in Dad's lap on the metal bleachers.
Non-drowsy?
It was not a non-drowsy one.
I was saying, geez.
No, it was a regular Benadryl. So I took it, and I was like just laying in Dad's lap on these metal bleachers, and I felt not good. Like mid-morning. So it kind of felt the same.
At least you had an excuse. I didn't probably. I probably played about the same as you, except at least you were.
I don't remember any specifics that day.
No, I carry allergy pills around with me being
non-drowsy one.
I always make sure they're non-drowsy, and they're literally like I don't even know what they're super small, but being allergic to cats, it's I always joke with people when I'm actually serious. If I have a conversation with any student, like if it's a longer than a minute conversation, it's like, hey, you have a cat at home, don't you? Yeah, I do. How'd you know? It's like, well, you see my eyes?
I wonder
that's how I know.
I wonder if that skill will ever provide any
maybe like a detective,
any benefit.
Like a true crime, I could help solve a mystery case.
Something. Yeah, just put you in
maybe
there.
like if a cat was stolen.
Let your eyes
won't help any people. But
let your eyes start weeping.
The nose goes eyes, nose, throat.
I don't know what I'm allergic to necessarily.
That's I'm allergic to cats, and I found I'm allergic to dogs. That's it.
Cats and dogs.
Cats and dogs. So I'm an equal opportunity.
That probably doesn't upset you very much.
No, I can see why others might not like it. We got talking about this the other day. See, off track, we're going to get back. I was told people that don't like cats and dogs are cold and heartless.
I'd say I can see some correlation there. Maybe not cold. Maybe a little heartless.
I like your dog, kind of.
Depends.
I do. Not you. Huh?
That's because it doesn't live in your house.
But yeah, I can leave.
Yeah. No, I'm not a big animal guy, but people
You like
are.
little animals?
Little animals?
We say you're not a big animal guy. You're just like little animals.
I'd rather have that than a gerbil or something.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if I don't know. I don't think I would want. I don't want any of them to live in my house.
What's you were just saying though? Your little dog. I don't know what kind of dog she is, but you said she must have a little black lab in her or something. Meaning she about tracked down that pheasant you were saying the other day.
That was impressive. Someone was telling me at work the other day they weren't whining, but maybe a little whining in a half joking way. And I informed them. I said, "Well, we don't always get our way." I said because I have a dog. I'd say I guess sitting on my couch right now at home wearing a pink sweater. I said,
I do like the sweater.
So nobody gets their way.
She needed it after that haircut she got.
My gosh. No. So what do you do? But bottom line, that's a real thing. And I think the big part of it too, and again, this is a hot topic and that's not what we're addressing completely. But, when you think of, when you hear educator burnout, teacher burnout, so much of it is, certainly the challenges at hand. But I think teachers point them out to just a long group of people. And at current state and time, I think generally we're not super great at taking care of ourselves. And that's, goes physically, mentally, spiritually, all the above.
Emotionally.
I think there's there's some work to be done there. And maybe I'm just talking about myself, which I certainly am. But, just from things I see, I think we need to work a little harder at building up a little bit of an armor of sorts.
Well, I do, and you saying that there are so many things that are out of your control, out of our control, and that you don't even, obviously out of your control. You can't do anything about it, and that may cause stress or cause issues with things. But sometimes it's hard to take advantage or take control of the things that you are fully in control of. Hey, I am tired. I am, maybe stressed with stuff. Is that going to stop you then from having even a quick workout? Even if you just want to go jog a mile real quick, and do you have the mindset of saying, hey, that's better than nothing, or do you just say, no, not doing that tonight? And and for me, I would say one of the things I struggle with, ironically, being I don't like to get up in the morning, is I really don't. I could get to bed earlier, and that's something that I'm within full control of, and it would be great for your well-being. So it's like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense if you're, the things that you don't have to, when you're looking out for yourself, and we said you got to sometimes put yourself first. Some of those things that putting yourself first don't actually require you to put someone else second. It's, hey, my kid's sleeping, Ashley's maybe gone to bed. Ain't nothing stopping me from going to bed at 9:30 tonight, even though I'm exhausted and I've been wanting to do nothing about it, nothing but sleep all day. And no, let's stay up until 11:30. Let's make sure you're extra tired tomorrow morning. Let's get that battery drained a little bit more. And, hey, yeah, I didn't work out tonight. I could have. I had time. But instead I decided to eat an entire Tombstone pizza. Now you're consciously doing things that
got a full tummy, I'm ready for sleep.
Yeah, but I'm ready for sleep, but I'm going to stay up 2 more hours just to make sure that battery's completely drained.
I thought you were eating the pizza at 10:30 or 11 like I do.
Oh. I don't do that as much anymore.
So when do you eat a frozen pizza?
Supper time. 7:30?
I can't eat we don't eat frozen pizza for supper. I can't. Other people would eat it. It's mine.
You gotta wait till till you hear that bedside lamp shuts off when Brennan's sleeping. And you're like, all right.
She can be up. The kids, though, would be after it, I'm sure. And they don't really like pizza that much, though. Or the one doesn't.
Well, I'm lucky. As long as it's not pepperoni, Dirks isn't gonna want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, sometimes I consciously throw a Supreme in the cart just so they know.
Oh, gee. I swear that was sausage. I can't believe that cheese.
Dad, I don't like that stuff. Oh, sorry. I didn't know that.
I can try to pick off some of this stuff for you.
Next time. Next
Yeah,
time.
let me throw some chicken nuggets in the air fryer for you.
You know, yeah.
Go ahead. You were just gonna.
No, I just saying there's different levels to everything, depending upon who you are and where you're at. Like you said, that's why I think there's benefit to setting like a floor of sorts where it doesn't matter how my day is, doesn't matter how crappy I feel, whatever else, this needs to get done. Hopefully I do more than that. Okay. But bottom line.
Well, you said, yeah, I like that. The floor.
Yeah, this is happening. But, you had said earlier, and I think that's where that vicious carousel comes on, that one doesn't want to be on, is, you said that you're not making the best choices, and then besides your stress, you're compounding your stress, and then you're like, oh, and we've talked about this before, is, as you're laying in bed, trying to go to bed, I didn't get on the treadmill. Nice work, fatso. You're feeling that way. And then you're like, oh, maybe I was crabby about how the day went. So maybe I was, not the most pleasant father when bedtime, we could have played a board game, but instead I was staring off into space.
Brush your teeth. Get to bed.
Staring off into space, thinking about the email you got that you shouldn't have read, or the meeting at 7:30 you got tomorrow morning. So yeah, I think those things compound in a not a great way.
Well, it is. And I mean, I do. I actually hadn't even thought about it in the way I'd said, where putting yourself first, I like that. Doesn't even require maybe putting someone else second.
Probably has the opposite effect, with you sitting up eating your Cheetos late in the evening, and then you're going to be tired in the morning, so you're going to be underserving somebody else because you couldn't get her done the night before.
Well, no, I just meant though, like you said, you got to put yourself first. So yeah, doing the opposite of that, but like, putting yourself first, I mean, it's not like, you have to put your kids second. It's not like you're shutting Bluey off and turning the football game on and just getting your way. It's, just fighting.
Well, it's different. On this could be a real hot topic. We'll be careful to delve into this. For those that are,
I didn't do it.
One, there's always more time. So, again, you can argue what's better, what's worse. So I've gotten in a spot lately too. Is that the best thing? You get home from the kids, they want to hang out with you and whatever else. And again, this people could have some opinions about this, but if you go home, and I think as long as kids know that dad has this time, this time's important to dad, and I think that's important and okay to tell kids too. When I throw on my headphones, which resemble these, I
thought they were the same thing.
On the treadmill, plug them in, for 15 minutes, hey, dad's got his headphones on, obviously if there's an emergency or something, but usually they're in the basement messing around anyways. But dad just needs a few minutes to do this. Better than that would be, one saying there's not enough time. I would argue that the majority of folks, some saying it, some not, do, 30 minutes to 180 minutes of mindlessness once their kids go to bed, where one, you could have got your butt on the treadmill or done a few push-ups or whatever else, did something, prepped for the next day, either that night, or you could have got your butt to bed and got up earlier and hit the treadmill before you, started the day with the kids. All which 100% don't impact your kids directly as it relates to your time.
My treadmill doesn't start before 8 a.m. It's locked.
It's locked up.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't want to fire up that early in the morning.
No.
And it's so dumb. We talk about these things. It's like when you talk about the changes and the intentionality is the huge part of it. It's so dumb. And I know so many people struggle with it. Just when the alarm rings, if you get up half hour earlier, I'm going to work out. I mean, again, it is so easy. We talk about this.
Running the day or chasing the day.
Yeah. But Charlie, it's so easy to be bad. It's so easy.
I'm bad boy.
It's so easy to be a bad boy.
Be a bad boy.
It's easier.
You're naughty.
I mean, gosh darn it, though. I mean, get up and then just try it. And, if you do it and you're like, I guarantee you, when has someone ever gotten up, drugged themselves out of bed, got the tennis shoes on, oh my God, what am I doing? Hit the treadmill, and as soon as they get done, even say 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever time they have allotted to hop off that, when has anybody ever said, God, wish I didn't do that?
Probably the person that blew out their knee when they were
That was a waste of time. Well, that was going to blow it anyways. Got her.
Oh my. Well, it is. It's hard for me to do that and get going in the morning. But yeah, I mean, what a fantastic start to the day. If you can bury that before you even get in the car to go to work, like that is.
I just like the idea, and we just talked about this a few weeks ago.
And knowing your evening's free.
Yeah, but just taking control of some of the harder parts of your day. I mean, and someone could go to work and they can call you terrible things and chew you out, whatever else. But it's like, you know what? One thing you can't do is you can't make me go on the treadmill for 8 minutes at a 7.2 speed because that was burning the tires this morning. You can't do that. You know, the sweat might be rolling down my face for some other reason.
Gotta wear a dark polo to school that morning.
Some conflict, but you don't know what I mean. I mean, that was my choice. I'm the one that put the heat on me. So there's power in that. That's what we're all searching for, Charlie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Searching for some control. Everyone wants some control.
Well, it is, and I think it's also just good to be mindful of that, but also just like anything else, you can't just go 0 to 60 because you're setting yourself up for failure immediately. I mean, you gotta, you can't say, hey, I'm gonna make these healthy meals. I'm gonna go exercise. I'm gonna get to bed earlier. I'm gonna do all, this, that. I'm gonna get this down or, whatever else. And then, that's too much happening at one time. I mean, I think you just gotta say, even if you set yourself the goal of, hey, I'm gonna go 10 miles on the treadmill this week. I don't care if I run 10 miles one night or if I do 2, however you do it, but from Sunday to Saturday, I am getting 10 miles in, or even if it's one healthy meal during the week. So for me, this is cheating now. I see every Sunday, you get your phone usage. Mine went down 8% this last week, and I don't think it's because I was really on it less. I think it was probably because it went up 24% the week before, and it was just
ebbs and flows.
Yeah, so it's like, I did a little bit better than I did last week, but it's trying to be conscious of just, I feel like you just got to pick one thing out and hit that, whether, do 10 miles for 3 straight weeks or a month and then up it to 12, but just put yourself in a place where you can be successful too and not feel like you failed yourself because, you didn't meet the goal you set. I mean,
no, that's what people don't. We talk about SMART goals and people get so full of SMART goals, especially at work or whatever field you're in. But, there are a couple important components in those things, like a baseline, which again, I think when you compare it to that is if you can find somehow some kind of marker of, if you commit to doing something, like you said, for, if you do 10 miles in a week, how do you feel after doing that? Do you feel better than you did the week previously? I'd say you probably are going to, so and see how you feel.
And the great thing about it is, you're not comparing yourself to someone else or to a bunch of other people or anyone on the internet. I mean, this is just between you and yourself, you don't have to think, oh, am I doing enough or am I not doing enough? Like if you feel you're doing enough and you're feeling good about yourself, I mean, I think that's awesome. You gotta give yourself a pat on the back and celebrate yourself and your accomplishments too, instead of ripping yourself down and saying, you could be doing more.
Leave that to other people like me.
That's why I got you here. You keep me in check.
We're about gonna wrap up here in this episode. We should tell the people that I'm again reign supreme in our 1-on-1 game, which is, first of all, thank goodness that there's not video evidence of this game because I'd be embarrassed if other people watched it.
I've already seen my golf swing. If I had to watch myself shoot a basketball, I'd probably never pick one up ever again.
As I described,
I beat you 7-0 the first game.
Then what happened?
I beat you again the second game.
I'm about winning wars, not battles. Then
I thought it was just a first to 2 wins. Then you kept making it longer and longer.
Then I went 3-0 on you.
Yeah.
Bing, bang, boom.
But I dunked it on like a 7.5-foot hoop.
Oh, I actually might have been a little higher than 7.5.
8?
Maybe.
For those out there listening, it was 2 hands too. Wasn't even just one.
Yeah, you threw it down with some authority.
I did. I tried to cock it back a little. Oh, knock my headphones off. Whoopsies. But I was thinking, in my mind, it looked just like prime D Rose cocking it back and throwing it down.
I mean, maybe it did. You can keep in mind the hoop, which I couldn't have done it. So
No, you were saying you didn't even think I'd be able to dunk it.
no,
I felt pretty good. I'm gonna carry that feeling with me all week because that made me feel like I was still have a little bit of athleticism left in the tank.
I think
Very
something
little.
bad. Something bad would have happened, I think. We talked about this in another episode. I still haven't addressed it completely. Address it being the fix of the treadmill, how it likes to do a little skip.
You said this is.
Yeah, I kind
We're
of
not.
did, but
No, we're not getting into this now. This
no.
is.
Oh, it's doing it again. I just no, not
said it
your
was my
treadmill.
fault.
No, not your treadmill. No, how it was. Well, it was your fault originally. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Just how it skips, and
Keeps you on your
if you want to
toes.
be a overweight middle-aged guy,
You're not middle aged yet.
run about as fast as you can on a treadmill that skips every once in a while.
Makes
you
you,
want,
makes you feel alive.
what does Kevin say? Do something that scares you each day. Well, I'd have that done if I just mosey down to the basement and hopped on the treadmill.
You
for a
get
little
scared
while.
as soon as you put that key on there just to get it started up. You're not even going to know when it's going to hit you.
I really should wear the safety clip thing.
I don't think so. You don't got much behind there. That thing, if you fall, that
That's
thing's
the
going to.
problem. I think I don't even know if there's enough room. I'd get pinned up there, and I think it'd rip every piece of skin off whatever was stuck on
Well,
there.
it's good. Hopefully, it's this that's stuck on there. Maybe it'll rub it down a little bit. Have a little more. It'll clean this up for you.
I don't think that's how it works.
Oh, I've never had it happen, but I don't imagine it'd be good.
Neither have I. I've only hit the panel part when the
Yeah, and
treadmill
it came to a
unexpectedly
dead
stops.
stop.
I was moving. That hurt.
Broke. That's where your
That's
wrist.
where my
That's
wrist
where your wrist
started.
injury came in.
That honestly is where it was. And it's
I
been
imagine
screwed up.
when you're running about full speed and you smash your arm into.
When was that? That was about 12 years
We're
ago.
in Moorhead.
12 years ago. And I still can't. I can hardly change the oil in my car. I can't do a lot of things now. Can't hardly swing a golf club. I can swing a golf club unless I get a chunk of turf and then I'm done for the summer.
It's on the 60-day DL.
Yeah. See you later. Done. Well, I think we'll catch them. We'll catch the folks next time.
Hey, happy trails. Next episode. See you February.
Next time, you need to come up with something like what does Red Green say? What was their line?
Well, he says a couple things. At the end, he says, if the women don't find you handsome, at least they find you handy.
I was thinking of the other one. Keep your stick.
Yeah, keep your stick on the ice.
Keep your stick on the ice. You got to come.
We can't take that from him.
No,
though.
no. You got to come up with your own for next time. You can end it each time. We're gonna trade in We're gonna trade in your double wave at the beginning for you can end a
little
some
catchphrase.
words of wisdom. Yeah.
This is serious. I'll have to come. This might be a work in progress. We might not be we might not land on the one immediately.
No, but we'll. You're gonna have one. So look
All right.
forward to it.
I like it.
See you next time.
Have a good one.